Hello and good evening. Thank you to the Board of Ed for giving me the opportunity to connect with you all. And thank you to Emily Davison for inviting me to share my story via this presentation. So my name is Marissa Foti. I'm the secondary English as a new language teacher at Bulkley Middle School and Rhinebeck High School. I have been working as an ENL teacher in Rhinebeck for the past 6 years, but I've been an ENL teacher for 8 years in total. I also received my certification in English 7 through 12 in 2016. I speak Spanish and Portuguese, and I'm very excited, even with all of the chaos and uncertainty of this current time, to share with you a little bit about my past, present, and future journey, as I've just completed the first phase of the Fulbright's Teachers for Global Classrooms Fellowship Program. So I will talk briefly about that experience. I won't go into too much detail as it's I could talk for hours and hours about that, but I'd like to keep this brief. So just for some context, this presentation is a tweaked version of one of my final presentations that I did for that program, just to use the global learning competency continuum to show where I came from, where I am now, and where I'm going. So that's kind of what you will see a bit of in this presentation and hear a little bit of my story. So let's start a bit with the past. Here's a picture of me as an 11th grade Rotary Foreign Exchange student in Cachoeiro de Itapemirim, Brazil. I was afforded this incredible opportunity to live abroad as a high schooler. And these are our school uniforms, and these are some friends, some Brazilian friends, and this is another German exchange student that we were the only two exchange students in this particular city. So even before this experience, I've always seen myself as a global citizen, a lifelong learner, a person with a knack for learning and teaching languages, a traveler, a culturally aware and responsive, humanistic, and adaptable person and teacher. But I would say that it was this experience as a Rotary Youth Exchange student that set me on the path towards becoming an English as a new language teacher. Because it was through this experience that I became multilingual. I was able to investigate the world beyond my immediate environment. It was through this experience that I first recognized my own different perspectives and the diverse perspectives of those around me. And it's where I first had the opportunity to communicate ideas with diverse audiences, that of my Brazilian peers and my host families, but also other foreign exchange students as well. I think it's also important to note on my journey, before I worked in Rhinebeck, I worked in the Poughkeepsie City School District, and there I worked as an elementary ENL teacher. I taught huge classes. I taught first and second graders in one elementary school, second and third graders in another elementary school, but I also was afforded an incredible opportunity to collaborate with Diane August of the AFT. We received a grant to work with Daniel Pook, who is one of the authors of the Common Core State Standards, and a whole cohort of teachers at the Poughkeepsie District put together some scaffolds for English language learners to be able to achieve at grade level Common Core State Standards. So that was an incredible program that I was able to work on. So I've always been committed to working towards my highest potential in teaching language, and that was always my focus. By weaving language objectives together into content objectives, I saw myself as a clever and competent ENL teacher. But with this Fulbright experience, my eyes were open to the 4 domains of global competency, which I mentioned before briefly: investigating the world, recognizing perspectives, communicating ideas, and taking action. And I didn't yet understand this framework for global competency and how it could enhance my teaching of language objectives, content objectives, but also social and emotional learning. I began connecting with like-minded teachers. The spark grew inside me. I felt myself expanding and more inspired as I'm stepping into my passion and purpose as an educator. And I look forward to working together and growing and interconnecting, because I'm learning that growth and resilience are reinforced by interconnectivity. Teamwork on a global level, teamwork on a local level, teamwork makes the dream